What's up? Room is hot out today. Really hot. What is up, guys? David here for a update video. Now, I haven't made an update video of the Mustang since 35,000 miles about. And today we're going to talk about how is the car held up over time past 50,000 miles. Now, 50,000 miles is a lot of miles for how short of a time period I have had this car. As you guys know, for this channel, I make a lot of trips, a lot of road trips, and even a road rally that was over 4,000 miles long in this car. Little spark notes about the car if you are new to my channel. It's a 2013 Mustang GT purchased in June of 2012, and now it's August 2014, and I have 53,094 miles on it. And a lot of people are like, good gracious, that's a lot of miles, but at the same time, I'm over here like, it's a new car, it's meant to be driven, and I haven't had any problems with it. And that is the big question, with it being a Ford and that stereotype of having issues, especially in the 90s, people wonder if this car has a good reputation, and is the reputation worthy? And I can tell you it is. The car is lightly modified. The motor has never been opened. It's Boss 302 intake manifold, JLT cold air intake, BBK throttle body, and some exhaust stuff. And also a little bit of suspension work, Eibach, lower range springs, and that sort of thing. Cosmetically, that doesn't really hurt the car performance-wise, so we're not even really gonna talk about that. The only thing different about the car since 35,000 miles is that I put on a new chin spoiler. Now, this is the only thing that has happened to the car the entire time of its lifetime is the splash guard came off. When I was in West Virginia during the road rally, a very windy part of West Virginia, the splash guard came off the car. Now, do I think that it was the car's fault? No. I think it was my fault, because when I installed the chin spoiler, you have to take out the splash guard and reinstall it. Maybe I just didn't reinforce it enough, maybe I just didn't do something like that. The only rattles I've had in this car are the little gauge pods right here, and you can barely hear them anyway, and that's just from hitting bumps over time. You know, driving on roads that are not the best quality, that just does that to any car. I don't care what kind of car you're in, you're gonna get rattles eventually. Now, is it really that disturbing? Not at all. It's only when you hit a bump and you'll get a little bit of a creak. But compared to older Mustangs, this is miles ahead in the interior, and they did a really good job. All the soft material is still on the car. There's nothing peeling, there's nothing being worn out, and electronic-wise, radio still work, sync still works, everything else still works. AC, heat, nothing has had an issue. Probably the only thing on the car right now that is a little bit worn out are my brakes, but that's just from driving. That's not because of, I guess you could say, car error. It's more driver error, just because of how hard I've pushed it. The car has been pushed very hard. There's no doubt about it. And with it being on a 93 octane race tune the entire time, I am extremely impressed. The tune is by Bama, by American Muscle in Pennsylvania, and their tunes have always been good to me. Some people say they don't like them, but when it comes to being a daily driver and being reliable, it's been very good to me. I've never had an issue with it. No detonation, nothing like, the car's not leaning out or anything like that. When it comes to rust or things like that, there's no severe rust on the car. That is a big question with Mustangs, is rust, and there's no severe rust on the car. The exhaust is fine, my mufflers are fine, my headers are fine, all of that shenanigans. And I'm still on stock headers, remember that. Now, I know you guys are probably saying, David, you're just sucking up to your own car. I'm not. If I were to tell you there was something wrong with this car, I wouldn't hide it. I'm not one of those people who would go around hiding if the car is broken. If the car was broken, I would let you guys know. But it's not. As for gas mileage or anything like that, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. I made it to Myrtle Beach at Mustang Week on one tank, and that's about a 6-hour drive from Richmond, Virginia, where I live. Another thing about this car is transmission stuff. A lot of people with the manual transmission seem say they've seen problems with them. Mine has not really even blinked an eye. The only thing is if you rev the car a little too high, going from second to third gear, it probably will lock you out. But that's because the motor can rev high. It can take it. This goes to 7,800 RPM. But the transmission, with the stock transmission, I don't think it can keep up with it. I think it's spinning just too fast for it from that second to third transition. Every other gear though, I can rev all the way to 78 and there's not an issue. It's completely fine. Car sounds healthy, it sounds good. I mean, sounds good, healthy, running smooth. There's no interruptions, it doesn't break up, no misfiring, all that good stuff. Now a lot of people are like, David, why are you even making this video? Because you made the 35,000 mile video. Well, I think it's to prove that modern cars, if taken care of, you know, change your oil, check up on everything, make sure everything's okay. Even if you think it is up here, you always should double check, always. There's no such thing as checking your oil too much. There's no such thing as checking fluids too much. All that stuff is very, very important to keep up with. And modern motors nowadays, knock on dashboard, are pretty bulletproof. If they are slightly modified like this, especially with an all motor setup when you don't have forced induction, you shouldn't be scared to drive at far distances at all. A lot of people were nervous for me doing the road rally that I just did from West Virginia to Colorado, and we took a very long route, very out of the way. And I wasn't nervous at all. It was totally fine. The only time I had a little bit of a scare with the car was in Kansas, where they didn't have 93 octane and I was tuned on 93 octane. And they only have 91 out there. So I did try to detune it down to 91, and I made the mistake of leaving my door open and having my radio still on while uploading the tune, and the ECU didn't like that. But eventually I worked it all out by doing the proper steps that Bama told me and also Ford recommends doing, and it was solved without error. So it wasn't the car, it was me. Am I surprised that the car is still together as good as it is? A little bit, to be honest, I am, due to how much I've launched it, how much I've done a few pulls in it. I'm absolutely astounded in a good way. I'm very proud of Ford for getting their crap together and making a great car like this. I love this car. And tons of people say you should get a different car. I'm sorry guys, I don't need a different car. This is it. The power is there, even if I wanted to do forced induction. A good friend of mine had one of these, he vortexed it and went 85 on stock everything and made 726 wheel horsepower. It's an amazing motor. And I don't care what people say, yes, it's a Mustang, but this is a different world now, guys, I'm telling you. And this is coming from somebody who has owned, I just got yelled at. And this is coming from somebody who has owned 2 other generations, and I can say they weren't even close to as good as this car. Does that make me biased? Absolutely not. I love driving everything, as you guys know. But it is a good feeling when I get back in my car and know that it's really well put together and I probably won't have any issues with it. And after doing all these different car reviews, I can't say the same for all those other cars, guys. Not that they should be dailies, but almost every car I've reviewed on this channel has had some kind of problem one way or another, and I feel very blessed that I haven't had those issues. So 53,101 miles later, do I approve of this car still, and do I still love it? Yes, I do. Every once in a while, you get the power needy, you know, you want more power, but if that day ever comes, I know this will be ready for it, and I will be super happy. If you guys are interested what is done to this car, here's a playlist to every part that is done to this car aftermarket wise, and I have part reviews for everything I've ever put on the car if you are new to my channel. And new or old to my channel, thank you so much for watching this quick update video. I know I didn't really have anything exciting to say, you know, something broke or something like that, but in the end, isn't that great? It's better than having a broken car. I'm still on the stock clutch, which is amazing, and I will milk this as long as I can. I will have this car as long as I possibly can. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Take it easy. Have a great day.